Ready, set, go.
Is this thing on? There, it worked that time, Caleb.
You can never get enough volume.
I could never get enough volume.
Oh, man.
Dude, I completely screwed the pooch on that beginner. Good Lord.
Oh, man. It's all good, man. Dude, it's been, I don't know about you, but it's been a while since I've been on. Man, I'm going weird.
Yeah, I'm out of practice. That's my problem.
Man, what is it? Did you put out one last week or no?
No, we haven't done one since, whenever that was, we talked about those dudes that weren't exactly big fans.
Gotcha. Yeah, they weren't big fans at all.
No.
I think it's been at least 2 weeks for me that I've not been on. So
I'll tell you what,
but,
and we try to do one every week, of course, and I think you've been on most of them.
Yeah, I've tried to be on most of them. I love them.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. But there are times that life gets busy, and you know how that goes. And
well, yeah, 100%. And honestly, I think we're not making big money off of this. Well, we're not making any money. So I would say that So I think that really, if we miss one here or there, and it's not every week, I don't think it's a huge deal.
Right.
Now, if we were as big as like Unashamed, then yeah, I'd be quitting my job for that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. You know what? Speaking of making money, we got, and I don't know if I told you this or not, but I wanted to say the name out loud to thank them for doing it. We got our first monthly subscriber.
First monthly supporter.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Who? I guess can you say it?
Yeah. I'll say it. Yeah, old John Rigsby. He's been a fan for a while. I just got a notification one day. And I was like, you got it. You got your first monthly supporter. I'm like, well, that's cool.
That's awesome. Our first monthly subscriber.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're on the fast track to success.
Yes, we are. This show is just flat out expanding beyond at speeds that we can't handle.
In 12 months, me and you will be able to go to McDonald's and get a McChicken. Oh, man. Oh, dude. No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
This is a different thing to learn because everybody always has these dreams of, starting a YouTube channel, and we all hear about the YouTube millionaires. And me and you used to put up a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah, we did.
And this has been by far, I think, the thing that we've done in our endless quest for fame.
Yes.
This is by far the thing that we've done that's gotten the most traction. Like
it has gotten the most attraction. Talking about YouTubers and stuff. We put a lot of videos up, and those are a lot of fun. Those are a blast.
They are fun.
It's crazy. You put up some of the videos that we have done, like some of the stuff that we've done on video, and it doesn't go anywhere. And then a couple of guys called the Island Boys step out on TikTok, making complete fools of themselves. And dude, instant success.
Yeah.
It's like, what in the world?
Is that what that's from? Is TikTok? Like I've heard about the Island Boys and seen, that stupid hairdo and stuff, but I didn't realize that was a TikTok thing.
Yeah, I think it was a TikTok that came out a couple months ago, and they come out singing, "We're the Island Boys," whatever. And, we like a lot of, their hair looks like they got the top of their head.
Yeah, that was something that John Rigsby kept yelling because I was with him a good bit while Jeff was in the hospital. And by the way, just as an aside, I wanted to let everybody know because I don't think we've had an update on him since, but he got out. He's discharged from the hospital. He's doing very, very good.
That's amazing.
But yeah, John Rigsby he was like hollering that over and over and over again. And then of course I started doing it and I think we were making his girlfriend. Well, I think he was making his girlfriend a little bit upset at him because John was just driving out that Island Boy thing into the ground.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, dude, it's so annoying. Like they're and really like they've actually just been going around and picking a bunch of fights like over stupid stuff. And
really,
which I honestly, but my honest opinion, I think is just. They have no talent, so they need something that's that keeps their name out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go to a big fight. Like they went to a Jake Paul fight. I think got into a big fight over there. Of course, like half of the crowd was booing them and stuff because I mean they suck.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, Ginger Billy. Have you ever watched Ginger Billy stuff? The comedian?
Occasionally, I have. Yes.
He come out and he had beer cans on top of his head. And he was singing. I think he was singing "I'm a redneck boy." I got me a lot of chickens. And he had like a chicken in his hand. It was hilarious, dude. It was funny. Some of his stuff, man, is just some of his stuff is awesome. But anyway,
did you ever see Catfish Cooley?
Oh my, yes,
dude.
Yes,
that guy.
Catfish. He is hilarious.
He is.
That guy's awesome.
I don't see him much anymore. I don't know if he's like waned in popularity or if Facebook just quit recommending him to me through their freaking algorithm or whatever. I don't know.
It could be. I haven't been seeing as much of his videos, but I have been seeing one. He's got some tour dates, I think, that's coming up.
Ah, okay.
Tour.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I got a question while we're on this topic. Have you ever heard of Donnie Baker?
Oh, yeah. This is Donnie Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so's your wife, Mitchell.
Yeah. He says my boat's an eyesore. So is your wife, Mitchell, but nobody says anything about that.
Yeah, man, he cracks me up.
Dude, he's hilarious. Well, get this, man. Do you know, you might want to edit this out, but do you know,
yeah.
am I here? He told me the other day, he said that, I didn't know this, but he was telling me, he said, Donnie Baker was at my work Christmas party. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, he said, my work Christmas party out here in Muncie. He said they hired him to come in and do a comedy routine.
Dude, that is cool.
Yeah, and he actually had a picture of him and everything else. It was Donnie Baker.
That's awesome as heck, man. Yeah, that guy cracks me up.
Yeah, it really was.
Well, he reminds me of people. I feel like I should know him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the truth. His because he actually turned on a video of him and just his routine or whatever. It was actually funnier a lot of times than even his like just his like little videos.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was really funny. Now I didn't know this, but he's actually from around here.
I didn't know that
originally.
at all.
I didn't either.
Didn't he get popular like calling into like the Bob and Tom radio show or something like that?
You know that I don't know.
I'll have to double check my facts on that one.
It's possibility, but he, dude. And they said the way he dresses, like in his video, that's exactly how he was dressed there. Like he just, yeah. But they said he came in and they said he had all the free alcohol he wanted, and they said he was getting trashed by the end of that show. Oh man, so I thought that was good stuff.
Talking about internet stars and people, trying to get famous and stuff, which we all these people doing podcasts and such.
Yeah, who does that?
Who does this crap?
Yeah.
I just watched a Netflix documentary the other day called The Social Dilemma. Did you ever watch it?
No, I haven't. I'd like to, though. The Social Dilemma.
Yes, dude.
I'll have to look that up.
I had heard about it. I think there was a guy that Rogan had on. He had one of the main guys from the documentary on because I knew I'd heard about it. I recognized one or two of the names.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about the things that these social media apps, they design these apps to keep you on there and keep you scrolling. And the people that are in the documentary, they are like former vice presidents, former people that had worked for like Instagram as far as setting it up. The one guy, I think he was either president or vice president over at Pinterest. And so these weren't just like some dudes on a podcast they're interviewing. Yeah.
These were the who's who.
Yeah. These people came from those companies and they basically like had this crisis of conscience to where they pretty much said, we can't do this anymore. This is getting insane. And they break it all down. The one guy, he said, I would come home and he said, I would find myself away from my wife and kids scrolling through Pinterest. And he was the vice president of Pinterest.
Wow.
And he said, here I am. It's like the irony just really struck me. He's like, here I am designing this app to keep people hooked on it and to keep them scrolling so that they will see ads, which then they get paid money for. Pinterest does.
Yeah.
And so he consciously knew what he was building and it still was trapping him.
Wow.
Like it flat out. I'm not going, like, I didn't delete my Facebook or nothing like that. I did take the app off my phone though, because I was like,
yeah,
that's a good idea. And they talk, like, YouTube does it, like this, they need you to stay on there because that's how they need you to see ads. They're nothing but a advertising agency.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, dude, I just found this out the other day that my company, they use Facebook for their ads, and I guess from what I understand, like, it is a ton of money that we make just off of Facebook ads alone. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's.
And I was like, wow, that was quite amazing.
It's very effective.
Yeah, very.
But it just kind of, it really bothered me when I heard it laid out like that by these people that were very prominent in those companies. And some of them now have even like started foundations to like get this stuff regulated, because there's very little, if any, government regulation on it. I mean, they just, and like the one lady said, she wasn't like from one of the companies, but I don't know, a psychologist or something. She said, you're being manipulated and you don't even know it's happening.
Yeah.
Like they're basically they've gotten very good at observing the human psyche. And so they use psychology. They know what makes us do certain things, because humans, we do have patterns. There's things that, you could predict. Yeah. Well, just break it down simple. You go up, you slap a dude in the face, he's going to get mad. We know that's a reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. And rightfully so. And so they go even deeper. So they find out what makes you click on this and what makes you do that. And they said the information that they have about you, said every click that you make, he said, when you're scrolling, what ads you see, how long you look at that ad before you scroll on to the next one. They mine all that information, all of it.
Oh yeah.
And then they use that to turn around and sell.
Now I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. And do you also think that would the right word be indoctrinating? Do you think that that is also another thing that they could be doing as well? I mean, putting different things in front of you that maybe get you thinking maybe a different direction than maybe you normally would, or
they definitely do that. Yeah. And that was, I don't know the actual technical term for that, but yeah, I get manipulation or whatever, but they have figured that out. Yeah. They've, like political campaigns, stuff like that. If you come to them with enough money, man, they'll do the way that this documentary presented it. They'll do whatever you've got the money for. And, because it's all about money. Ultimately, the capitalist system, which I think is the best system to be set up in, but when it runs unchecked, it's all about money. How much of it can I make? And if it's unchecked, dang the consequences. We're making this money.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But yeah, it was just that really, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I was like, man, I'm being manipulated like crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this, and I'm gonna have to watch this. I like that. I do appreciate the job that I have now. It's a little bit more faster pace. There's more to do. It keeps me pretty busy. I can't really be on my phone a whole lot. I mean, there's sometimes I have some downtime or whatever, or something I'm just doing strictly by myself that I'll just put in my earbuds and call you or something like that.
Yeah.
But to actually be able, because man, when I worked at the old company, man, dude, there was time I had so much downtime. I mean, man, it was not even right sometimes how much downtime I had. So, what did you do? You just scroll through Facebook, man. Just countless of hours, just down the drain.
And some of the ways that these guys worded this stuff really stuck with me, because this one person, they said what they're doing is trying to see how much of your life you will give to them. And I got to thinking about that, and I thought that is entirely correct. All the countless hours, Kanan, that I have sat in the car before coming in the house, or just sat on the couch after getting home and just scrolled, mindlessly scrolled.
Yep.
And it's like, man. One of the other guys, he also said that the general rule of thumb is if you're getting something for free, like when it comes to these apps and stuff, if something doesn't cost you anything, then you are what's being sold. And I was like, whoa. He said, your attention, Your attention is what's being sold. They are selling you. And so they need to figure out how to trick you into staying on there longer.
Goodness.
Frickin' blew my mind.
Yeah, that is. I'll tell you what's really scary is my phone at the end of the week. It's usually on a Sunday, earlier in the morning, and it will say your average screen time was, and I'll tell you, dude, I don't think it's been under 2 hours a day.
Oh yeah, I'm probably the same way.
And it's just, now I do listen, sometimes I'll put in earbuds and I'll listen to like Unashamed podcasts and stuff while I'm working, or something like that. So I think that counts it stuff. But that I don't listen to that a ton, I don't really have, so it's like, man, where's the other time going,
Yeah. And I don't think that's bad necessarily to listen to, but like I listen to podcasts all the time. Obviously the people who listen to this keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Keep listening.
But
hit the like button.
Even though I do that, that's the majority of what I do on my phone is listen to podcasts and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm
still connected to that phone for multiple hours per day.
Oh yeah.
Even though that's what I'm doing. And I'm a lot of times through that, I'm learning stuff. Dude, the stuff I've learned on YouTube lately when it comes to music production and all that, and and getting into the details of music production, how to tune vocals and how to use MIDI and things like that.
Yeah.
But even through that, they got me. Yeah, I'm learning stuff, but they have successfully, even though that's a good thing I'm learning, they've got my attention and they've made money.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it's true.
Anyways, be that as it may. Seems like we have a thing for social media companies lately, or just internet companies in general. We're always hating on
screw them all.
Yeah, we're always hating on Google and all these.
Yeah, Google sucks. Oh man!
I told you I had a news story for you, and I want to bring this up because I guess it is related. So, and we talked a little bit about this before we started rolling. You are familiar with the Metaverse, correct?
Yes, I wasn't sure of the name. And then you mentioned, was it Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah, the Facebook guy.
Yeah, the Facebook guy. And then I started just putting it together. And I have heard a little bit about this. I don't know much at all, but I have at least heard of it.
I'm pretty uninformed on as well. I know that Facebook is the company that owns Oculus, which is that game system with the VR goggles and stuff. And I've played that several times. It's entertaining as heck.
You actually have that, don't you?
No, actually Mom's got one of them, and I've used it several times when I was down there at her place. It's pretty freaking amazing.
When I come down, please get that system, bring it up. I want to try it out.
Oh yeah, dude, it'll blow your mind. Like I'll be in there.
I have never
playing these war games, and like my heart's pumping because you go to look around, you look down, you've got to actually squeeze the trigger on the gun with your trigger finger. You got to load it like it is one of the most realistic things I've ever done. And it's a lot of fun.
Dude, I want this.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. However, I realize we're being sucked in. But anyways.
Yes.
So I don't understand all the ins and outs of the metaverse and exactly what it's going to be. From my understanding, it's basically like the internet that they're going to you'll be, and how many times am I going to say basically?
I didn't even realize until you said that. Then my mind just immediately goes to all the basically.
I know. When I'm editing this, when I'm editing this show, I get to hear myself 1,000 times, and then I'll listen to the show after it's edited. Then I might listen to it again, make sure. And there's times like, Phil, would you basically shut up?
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. That's funny.
But I guess it's this thing where people are going to be interacting with each other in a virtual reality, like using the Oculus VR goggles, which I think that's what it's using now. So,
and not to interrupt, sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, a buddy of mine was telling me this. He was saying something about he heard that like you could even almost work in this reality world or whatever. Like if you had a job that you could kind of do from at home, I guess you could do it through this. I guess there's like different companies that they would be like, I don't know how it all set up because I'm very ignorant to this, but say you have a job that like can be done remotely. This company would put it into this. I really don't know how it all works. And then you can work in this and whatever. Is that something that's true? Or is that just a farce? I mean, what is that?
I've heard people talk about that. I don't know that it's there yet, but I have heard about the possibility of that. Like, from what I understand,
so that's something that they want.
Yeah, like they're pretty much wanting to make another. How do I want to explain this? They want to change the way that the internet is used. So instead of us just sitting on a computer, just clicking your mouse and so on and so forth, you would be immersed in the internet. Like it's happening to you. It feels real to you because it's a fake reality.
Basically, they don't like their life in reality, so let's make it to a virtual reality, I guess, as it were, to where you can basically choose your look, your body shape. I bet you won't see any fat people in this virtual reality.
Yeah.
You won't see many plus size people,
Yeah.
Abs? Yes, please. Let's click on that. I want abs. I want abs.
I think you're pretty well spot on. I mean, you think about it. If you have a boring life and you can just put these goggles on and hit the button and turn them on, and now you're in another life where you're doing cool stuff and you're flying airplanes and you're shooting at people and you're a hero in war. Why not hit that button?
You have 3 Medal of Honors, and
yes,
and you never had to leave the couch.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, when I hear we're making fun, we're laughing, but this is something that is very possible in the next 5 to 10 years. I'm sorry, I don't want to sprout of it, so I'm going to stay away from it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like this, it just sounds gay to me. Like, goodness gracious, if you don't like your life, do something about it. Well,
that's the thing, but that takes work. That takes effort. I mean, you know that.
Yes,
I know that. I'm still, changing things in my life and trying to make things better. And it's freaking hard. And people don't like that. We normally take the path of least resistance.
Yeah, we went the easiest route. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if I can, I forget the name of that it's called Onward, that game that I've played on there. And if I could just put those on and I look down and I can see myself in I got like a bulletproof vest on, I got grenades on me, and I'm out here, dude, leading the charge. Like, heck yeah, man. Now I'm brave. Now I'm cool.
Yeah.
I don't need to watch a Mel Gibson movie. I am Mel Gibson. I'm doing the cool stuff.
Yes. But I get what you're saying, and I agree. My thing is I would feel horrible coming from that and then having to take those off.
Oh yeah.
And then seeing my fat, ridiculous self.
Well, and that's the thing. Yeah, this isn't healthy. No, this ain't healthy. This isn't healthy at all.
It's not. It's not, dude. You're going to. I honestly, I mean, I could be totally off here, and but I mean, I think you could really see suicide rate go up. You get kids that are bullied, whatever, and they're made fun of. They go home, they play this virtual reality, and then they take this off. They have to come back into the real world, and whatever, and they just realize that playing this game is not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have So, but or I guess you could look at it the other way, or maybe that would be a good escape for them, And I don't know. There's a lot to think about there.
Yeah,
a lot of possibilities, a lot to think about there.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with like playing VR games and stuff like that, but it seems like the level that they're trying to take it to with this metaverse thing, all that it's a little creepy. It's like, nah, man.
It gets creepy when they're like, you can work from this. That's weird.
Yeah,
that's weird. You're going to spend 8 hours in this thing?
Yeah, like I can put this on and pretty much never have to come out of this fake world that somebody's created where I'm pretty much king of. No, that's not healthy at all. That's freaky.
Let me tell you something. If I get me an office job in that, though, and it's an office job, I'm going to be a stud in that place.
Well, what I wanted to bring up, they're in beta testing for a lot of this stuff. So, they're working through developing it. And this was on the New York Post. I heard about this on a podcast I was listening to today. And the headline says, mother opens up about virtually about being, quote, virtually gang raped in Metaverse. Okay. Now, dude, when I first heard this, it makes no sense. Let's just get into it. So I'll just read it to you. The woman who reported being groped in virtual reality late last year has come forward to discuss her horrifying experience. I don't know how much of this I should edit out. So, if you're listening with your kids, plug their ears for a minute. Here's what she said. Within 60 seconds of joining, granted, she's got goggles on. This is a computer game or whatever you want to get. This isn't real life, but so keep that in mind. Within 60 seconds of joining, I was verbally and sexually harassed. 3 to 4 male avatars, so characters, I guess. I'm not much up on the nerd lingo, but so 3 to 4 male avatars with male voices, essentially, but virtually gang raped my avatar and took photos. As I tried to get away, they yelled, "Don't pretend you didn't love it." And go. Nina Jane Patel, 43, recalled in a Medium post recounting the nightmare she experienced as a beta tester on the VR platform, Horizon Worlds, created by Meta, which is Facebook's new name. A horrible experience that happened so fast before I could even think about putting the safety barrier in place. So, and also, now here's kind of what the company's done to respond to this. In December, the company revealed that a then unnamed woman, which is the one we were just talking about, had been virtually groped on the platform while she published her story on Medium at the time to little fanfare. Huh, you mean people didn't take her seriously? Huh, that's weird. Patel is making her voice louder to publicly discuss her concerns with the platform. Harassment in the metaverses is a serious issue that the industry needs to come together to put in place the correct security controls and safety measures. This will continue to be problematic for both men and women as our world fast moves from the 2D internet as we know it into the 3D internet space. She's also safeguarding her future and the future of many others with, I don't even know how to name this, some stupid company or something she's starting. Kabuni, I don't know how you say it. This is an educational metaverse equipped with parental controls. She's creating this for kids.
Well, it sounds like she's doing a great service.
Dude, I don't even know how to respond. And like, here's how this article words the assault she endured on the platform. Okay,
so I guess my question, because I really am ignorant to a lot of this stuff. So tell me, so the people that I guess in this virtually,
we'll try it again. Right? Hold on. Let me. Here, I'll hit it for you.
I promise I've not been drinking. I am getting tired, however. In this whatever. There. We'll just leave it at that. Was there guys that were like how like when you play Xbox and stuff, you can kind of play with like other people, in different states.
Yeah.
Is it sort of like the same thing with this here? I mean, or how is that?
Yeah, from what I understand, it was other people that were also on the metaverse, and they came up. I don't know how you like sexually assault some. And here's the thing. Okay, yeah, you're hearing this, and they're saying all these terrible things, but it's happening to like a video character.
Well, and not only that, but here's the thing. They're in California. You're in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just using it as it's like if somebody starts saying some nasty things to you, what's the first thing you do? Take off the earbuds and throw away the goggles.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you take the goggles off and you go do something productive.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
No, that's dumb, dude.
Yeah, they talked bad to her. Nobody should do that. But the way you handle that, wrong. Instead of starting some crazy company or whatever, is you take the goggles off.
Yeah, take the goggles off and shut the system down. It's like, pull the plug, Terry, pull the plug. Oh, man.
It's like if I'm sitting watching TV and some dude's on there, cussing cussing everybody in West Virginia out instead of me getting outraged, being like, he assaulted me verbally. I can turn the TV off. I don't understand it.
Exactly. That's dumb, dude. That's dumb. Wow. I don't even really have anything great to say about that.
No, it's ridiculous. It's stinking retarded. Are we just seeing the rise of the video game nerds just becoming more and more powerful?
Probably, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh my, what a day we live in.
Oh man. And to be clear, I'm not laughing about somebody getting
verbal abuse.
Yeah, sexual things said to them that they didn't want. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at your response. Take the goggles off. That's it.
Yeah, that's all you gotta. Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. I was thinking, like, wait a minute, it's like a video game type deal. It's like just pull the plug, turn off the system, take the goggles off. Like, you don't have to listen to this.
Yeah, you're uncomfortable with it. Seems like there's something pretty simple you can do to stop it.
And didn't she say she ran away? Well, what'd you do? Run into the wall? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my word. Goodness.
This stuff is out of control.
It takes all kinds of people to make this world go round.
It sure does. It's a bit terrifying. I remember saying it to my grandpa one time. I was like, I guess it takes all kinds to make the world go round. He's like, no, it doesn't.
I think. Oh man.
No, we don't need all those kinds.
Yeah, we don't need all those kinds. Oh man,
dude.
Says you can't fix stupid, but you can hit it with the 2x4. Oh man, we might want to edit his name out on that one.
Yeah.
You're saying that?
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes, I will. There's something else that's I've been down the rabbit hole on lately. I asked him about it before I told him I was going, before I agreed to share it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ken, you're familiar with John Hopkins.
Yes.
And he posted a video a while back of, talking about some things that happened to him as far as being sexually abused as a kid. Yes. And me and him talked about it some. And how do I explain this? I didn't even know this existed for a while. So there's these groups of people that will bait in child predators. Yes. And they're not the cops. They have no affiliation. They have no police powers. Sometimes the cops will work with them and use their evidence, but they'll bait these people in, and then they will video them whenever they come to meet this child or whatever. And so they then post their video and their picture all over the place to expose the world as to what these people are. I had no idea that was a thing.
So you didn't know about the website and stuff? I thought I had shared a little bit with you about it.
I may have heard about it. I knew that there were groups that did this. I didn't realize it was like people like me and you that did this a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously I knew that the cops, different law enforcement agencies and stuff would do sting operations with this. But I didn't know that, at least it wasn't in the front of my mind that this was a thing. And then I definitely didn't realize how much of it goes on. Oh
my dude, it's a ton. It is a ton, man. When I was working, because I used to work at the same place where this individual, they would do these basically these sting operations. And when she was working there, we would be, I'd be watching one of her videos or whatever, and they caught a cop out of I think it was Avon, Indiana.
Holy cow!
They caught a 29-year-old doctor that had just graduated, had a very successful career ahead of him, and they caught him. Of course, he lost everything. They have caught a firefighter out of this area. So people that you would trust, that you almost at times put your life in their hands.
Yeah.
These people end up being child predators. I mean, it's unreal, but
it is unreal.
But yeah,
the thing I think that got me was, okay, when you Google or like do a YouTube search for predator catchers or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there are tons of these outfits out there, and they're catching people all the time.
Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, it'll make you lose hope in society. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. Like in humans.
Like
So,
that group
yeah.
there in Indiana that John was referencing, and I started watching some of their stuff. They're catching like 2 and 3 sometimes a week in this one section of the country.
Yes, and it's actually becoming more popular that they are getting people traveling hundreds of miles to come and meet a kid in this area, Muncie area. Sometimes you get, or at least Indiana, South Bend, Indiana, which are getting up closer to Chicago. And things like that. So but in the state of Indiana, they are getting people. I mean, they had one travel from California. And then they also had a guy travel. He was from, I think, Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, I seen that one. They had a guy travel from Canada.
I see. I didn't see about that one.
Yeah, he flew internationally to meet up with like a 14-year-old kid.
How insane!
That does not compute. I don't understand that at all.
I don't either. It makes no sense.
John put out a video, and like I said, I asked his permission to share it on our Facebook page. So if you want to see what we're talking about as far as John Hopkins' video, you can go to our Facebook page, Hillbilly Broadcast, and see it. John he said that he knew that these people were working on the guy that had messed with him several years ago. And John pretty much just posted a video talking about it, telling people that really it's nothing to be ashamed of, that you can work through it, so on and so forth. And he also said some things about, how did he say that? He said, you'll hear this like on different news media, because the guy that they caught was very prominent. He was a vice president in Facebook. So it got shared a lot. And he said, you won't hear this talked about as the church, because it all happened while John was part of the, young kid in church. And I guess this other guy was in the church as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, it's maddening to think about that. Obviously there's an issue, and people are just too uncomfortable to confront it.
Yep.
We don't realize it's a thing. I know, like somebody like myself, that I've never had these open conversations with people. So it's easy for me to forget that, yeah, this is pretty prominent. This happens a lot.
Oh yeah.
And Kanan, me and you had this conversation about this. It's easy for us to get on here and to yell at the Holiness Church, or this church or that church, and say how wrong we are, or how wrong that they are. But with stuff like this, it's like, okay, how could we change this? Or anybody listening, how could they make a difference to make their church more aware, to keep this stuff from happening?
Yeah. Well, I'm not an expert in the situation, by no means, but I would say probably the first thing is for one, let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It is uncomfortable, but like John, he shared his video on Facebook, and I'm sure it couldn't have been easy.
No,
but he did it, and he's talking about it. Keeping anything a secret and hush hush and I don't think in anything it's any good. You know what I'm saying? A lot of wrong deeds can be, or a lot of evil deeds can be done, if you just keep it all hush hush and no one knows about it, and you just kind of do it in the secret of your home, or without anybody watching, or so I would say talking about it is probably a really good thing. And then of course, if it happens, man, expose the person. Expose what they've done, who they are. I mean, it's like, we don't want to ruin their life. Well, what about the kid's life?
Right.
So, let's expose the person, what they've done, who they are. Obviously for churches, I think, churches ought to, there needs to be many adults, supervising and, and watching out. I think that would be a great thing. Of course, our church does that. Plus, our church also went through and changed all the doors out and put to where there's glass. So you can see through every door and you can see into every room.
Wow.
So I think that's another great thing that churches could do to help, because man, the churches that I went to when I was going as a kid, man, dude, I remember this one church, man, it was an old nasty basement. The one room actually had a bed because, people would actually go down there and sleep and stuff in the afternoon. But it was like big old steel doors. I mean, goodness gracious, man. Bullets couldn't see their way through that door.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, so that's kind of what we grew up around. And so if you weren't careful, man, a lot of things could be done that, just went unnoticed. No one ever seen or heard. So
yeah,
I think those are just a good couple of steps that could really be taken. So, but yeah, it is bad. And unfortunately, it does seem like people do want to just keep it hush hush. But man, I mean, we could beat that horse until we're blue in the face. But
yeah, well, and we've talked about this in the past. At least 2 other times we've hit on this problem in the church. We had David Eicher on here, and he told stories that just turned my hair gray.
Oh man, he had stories, dude. Like his stories topped all the stories, man. Like those were unreal, man.
And if I remember correctly, he pretty much told us conservative religious circles, they have this problem. They just do.
Mm-hmm.
This is an issue for them. And I would say it's not even limited to conservative, but it seems like in the more conservative religious circles, it goes more hush hush. Like people don't want to talk about it. They, heaven forbid that, like the church that I was around, ain't nobody going to say the word sex. That's uncomfortable. That makes us nervous,
Yeah, they don't want to say that.
Yeah, it might be embarrassing. We can't talk about that. That's filthy talk. Stop it.
Yep.
It's like, well, I understand you don't want to have filthy talk, but there's also times that the Bible was pretty plain about things.
Oh, yeah.
The Apostle Paul was talking to some people one time, and he was pretty hot about those that were trying to push circumcision, that you had to be circumcised to be a Christian. He's like, we're not under the law, and this is not a requirement. And he, I think the ESV put it this way, like translated it this way. He said, I wish that those who were pushing this on you would emasculate themselves. It's like there's strong wording in the Bible, and I don't think we need to worry about crossing any kind of line by having these honest conversations that need to happen in order to keep people safe.
100%. Couldn't agree with you more, man.
And I know I've mentioned this to you as well. You'll see churches like in the wake of the shooting in Texas, where I think it was Jack Wilson. He stopped that shooting. Before it got any worse. I think there were a couple people in the church that were killed anyways, but he did stop it before it could have got worse. And
yes,
there were even churches around here, like a county or 2 over, the county sheriff was getting with the churches. He's like, if you want training on how to stop an active shooter, get a hold of us. We'll get you and your congregation a formal plan on how to stop this. And I think this should be treated the same way. Let's get our churches, let's get our people formally trained on the signs of it. Some people, man, I am totally ignorant on so many things. I don't know the signs to look for.
Yeah.
Are there certain cues I can pick up, like whether somebody is a pedophile or whether somebody is being molested? What can I look for? And then how can we help those people out? And what are security measures like you're talking about, like the glass doors? That's a brilliant idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there needs to be conversation and some training.
Yes. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Well, like you said, with the active shooter and stuff, with training, and if you strive for excellence and you miss, it's not going to be as bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you don't do anything and you miss, it's gonna be bad.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, it's gonna run rampant. So we have to strive for something. We have to. We got to try to do something to stop this. Oh my god, I don't even know, man. It's unreal. My true feelings are like to string them all up by the.
It can look at all the stories that we've either shared like Missy talking about what happened to her at BMI, the things that David Eicher told us, things that we've just heard in conversation.
Yeah.
And these stories are so hush hush.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, to me, that's like, why? Why is this hush hush? This should be known, not so we can sit and gossip. Quit worrying about gossip. And this is the thing, don't run people down. All right, get over that fear. We're not running anybody down. We're calling a spade a spade. If somebody got molested, we need to know about it. We need to know how to keep this from happening. But these stories are just put under, they're swept under the rug, and everybody wants to pretend that, man, we're all Christians and everything's perfect, and by George, we're going to heaven. Yeah, we're Christians, we're going to heaven. But we live in a fallen world. There's some things we got to deal with while we're here, and we need to quit acting like this stuff doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I've got a story, and I don't know how much more time we got, but I've got a story that I want to tell about this that lines perfectly up with all of this we're talking about. But I was talking to a guy the other day. He told me, he said, we had this guy going to our church. His name was. He said, and had been known to mess with kids. And he said, of course, he had a wife too. The wife was still with him.
Mm-hmm.
His wife said, "Hey," he said, why don't you and the kids come over and, have some dessert or, ice cream or something. We'll all hang out or whatever. And he said, for one, he wasn't comfortable with him even being at the church.
Mm-hmm.
But, they wouldn't kick him out or anything. But he said, she invites us over for, dessert or whatever, ice cream or whatever. And he said, is there? And she goes, well, yeah, what's the big deal? He said, well, I'm not, and I mean, he was honest with her. He said, well, I'm not real comfortable bringing my kids over there around that.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, oh, stop it. It's not like that no more.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I literally, dude, I started dying laughing, and I said, is that really what she said?
Yeah, because that's an insane response. Yeah.
Yeah. He said, yes, that's what she said.
What, did he take a pill?
Found Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's man.
Yeah.
Good Lord,
Jesus.
dude.
So let's trust him. Let's let him into our church and around our kids and have ice cream with him.
Yeah.
Not like that no more.
Dude, look how many times that religious people get took with this stuff. Remember the Howard Asherman thing we talked about for a while last year?
Yes.
The detective was like, I got a hold of the Bible school that he was at, and I told them, this guy's a wolf in sheep's clothing. And their response was, no, he's a good, godly Christian. He would never do anything like that.
He's a good boy. He didn't commit murder.
He loves Jesus and Elvis too.
And Hannah too.
Oh, dude.
So yeah, I mean, it's true, man. Is that and that's, me and my pastor, we were talking about that same situation when that whole documentary came out and stuff. And, and my pastor was like, yeah, he's like, I get that you don't want to think the worst of him.
Mm-hmm.
He said, look here, man. He said, you're my family. He said, and you go to my church. He said, but you best bet if a detective or a cop comes to me and is like, hey, we got some suspicion on Canaan,
mm-hmm.
and we have reason to believe he said, I'm at least going to hear him out.
Exactly.
And he said, I would hope you do the same thing for me. I said, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's the thing. People just, they want to turn it off automatically. That's like some of these people I've seen on these predator catcher videos and stuff. The people that just endlessly defend them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, no, you never do that. It's like, we got the proof right here. No. It's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. We've got the proof right here. Oh, he wouldn't do that. It's not like that no more.
Yeah. You got the treatment, whatever the the special cure.
Yeah, he drinks some potion, It's all gone. It's all gone.
It's crazy, Kane.
What an idiot.
Anyways, I'll have that video posted over on Facebook if you want to see John's response. And I did see John talk to this guy. He called, or the predator catcher called John, and I don't think I'm speaking out school here. This is all public. And John talked to this guy, and the way that John modeled a Christian response, Kanan, you know me, I try my best to be a Christian. I'm serious about being a Christian. I don't know if I have the strength to respond in the Christian manner that John did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was really impressive.
No, I agree with you 100% on that. I do. I do. That was remarkable.
Not to end this one on a downer, but
but it's on a downer.
It's on a downer. Now that y'all's good and depressed, we'll leave you to.
Hey, no, I'm not depressed, man. I'm glad we talked about it. I think it's something that needs to be talked about, and hopefully, whoever's listening to this will maybe we'll do. We've not really gave them a lot of stuff to be like, here are the signs, but maybe this will make somebody at least open their eyes a little bit and maybe watch their kids just a little closer.
Right.
Maybe just think just a little bit more through some stuff, and who knows? Maybe we help somebody. Just realize that you need to talk about it. You need to keep your eyes open. You need to be careful.
Yeah,
because whether you want to believe it or not, it's a real thing. And
it's not a sin to talk. You're not talking dirty. You're not using filthy communication to talk about these things. This is things that happen. Like I said, the Bible uses plain language on a lot of things. And it's time to just quit worrying about getting embarrassed and talking about an embarrassing subject. And I'm talking about those of like me in a congregation. It's time for us. I'm not addressing the victims on this. I'm saying those of us that sit around in the church, it's time for us to quit worrying about being embarrassed and start worrying about how to stop these kind of things. Thank you for listening to the Hillbilly Broadcast. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. If you didn't and you really want to get us back, go to wherever you listen to this podcast and give us a 5-star review. That will drive me personally insane with anger. If you'd like to send us a voice message, you can go to anchor.fm/PhilSparks, where you can also become a supporter of the show if that's something that you're into. If you would like to send us an email, you can send that to hillbillybroadcast@aol.com. That's right. We may or may not still be stuck in the early 2000s. You can also find Hillbilly Broadcast on Facebook, and I am on Twitter @ThePhilSparks. Again, thank you for listening. I love you. The good Lord loves you, and we'll see you next time.